Oh my goodness, this project that I'm sharing this week is such a good one. It is this gorgeous card. Hello, I'm Claire from Created the Ottaway. I'm an absolute craft addict based in the UK. My first love is paper crafting, and I'm going to show you how to fold, cut and create the Ottaway. So this week's craft along tutorial is for this Swing Easel Card. It's quite tricky to show you, isn't it? So it's got this panel here that's actually attached either side, but it has the effect of being like a swing. Okay, other than that, it's a normal easel card, but in order to get this swing effect, there's a little bit of cutting that is involved, some cutting and some scoring. So you're gonna yeah, that sounds like a song, doesn't it? You're gonna need to probably watch it through once first, but that's okay, isn't it? Just so you get the hang of how we're gonna do it. So grab yourself a cuppa, pause me for a minute, grab yourself a cuppa and then pop back and we'll walk through it together. Okay, so like I said, it's got a swing action. Other than that, it's a normal easel card. I've used on this one, this is a special card for my grandson who's going to be one very, very soon. How quickly does the time go? On that one, I have used these Sizzix Finlet dies. I'm sharing that with you because I always get asked in the comments what I have used. And what else did I use? Oh, on the layers here, I've used some really lovely layering dies. I love a layering die from Stampin' Up that are called Greetings of the Seasons dies. So they're going to be retired now, but you might be able to pick them up on reseller sites. But if you've got any layering dies, they are one of the things that I say is an investment piece if you're a paper crafter, because you're just going to use them time and time again. These ones are actually an added bonus because they've got holes in them for tags, which is really useful as well. So they've got even more of a potential to be an investment. The little balloon is from a Winnie the Pooh set I've got, and other than that, I think it's all self-explanatory. So we are going to make a floral version of this simply because most of us have got flowers in our stash. And sorry, I was distracted by the paper. I was just thinking, should I show you it? So most of us have got flower paper. We've all got too much paper stash and, well, too much craft stash. But not if you use it. It's not too much if you use it. So that's what my mission is, to get you using what you already own. Now this is some new paper from Stampin' Up. It's part of their beautiful gallery range and it is very, very beautiful. I really like the greens on this, so I'm going to go with that. And I've also got some of this basic beige card that I'm going to use as well, just because I think it layers really well. And then I'm going to use some of my Sizzix Finlet's flowers because they look sort of rose-like. So I'm going to see if I can make them look like that. And the stamp set that I am going to use is another one from Stampin' Up. It's called Pansy Patch. And it's got this lovely sentiment in here, wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you, and the happy birthday. They're the ones that I'm going to use. I use that a lot. If you're like me, you've probably got a favourite or two stamp set that you just use over and over again because it just fits so many occasions. So, hello to my Crafty Otters. If you're in my Crafty Otter Club, please leave me a comment and give me a little wave because I'd love to know that you're there. If you'd like to know more about my Crafty Otter Club, it's a little bit extra. It's very special. You get to do more crafting with me and lots of extra perks for being part of the club. So if you want to find out more, just select the join button and you will find out even more. So here's what I normally do. I write the sizes down on a piece of paper. They are in inches and centimetres, and if you screenshot that, you'll be able to enlarge it and work out for yourself what you need. Because it's just an easel card with an extra bit, it's basically just a card base. So a card base like that, and then it's this bit that makes it extra special. So you could use a normal standard size card for whatever you want and then just cut from that. That's in fact what I did with that one. I used a card base that I'd already got and then just used that as my practice one, which turned out really well. So you need some DSP, some designer series paper, one for the front and one for the inside, and then the rest you can layer and just make it yourself. I love to show you the how, and then if you share with me what you make with the tutorials, I love it. Don't forget to let me know whether you like this tutorial in the comments below, or just pop in there and say hello. It's lovely to see where you're all from in the world. So should we craft? Okay. So I have got my paper trimmer, and I need to have a piece of card that is 5 7/8 by 11 3/4. So as I said, I'm in the UK, so I'm going to chop that off straight away at 5 7/8. I'm using a standard UK A4 sheet. So 5 7/8. You don't need that piece at all, so I'm going to put that out the way. And then it should be, fingers, toes and everything else crossed, 11 3/4. Look at that, just about is. So 11 3/4 by 5 7/8, and I'm just going to score it at 5 7/8. So make sure that cutting blade is out of the way and then just score it. Okay, and that gives you your card base. Okay, just like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to layer the top piece, the front of the card, with some designer series paper. So I need to make that slightly smaller. That's going to be the top of my card, and that's going to be the inside. So I'm going to cut it, let's put that arm back in, at 5 3/4. Let's do that. So it's 5 3/4 on that side, just like that, and then 5 3/4 on that side, so that I now have a 5 3/4 square. And just to check that's right, and then it's going to be a nice fit, which it isn't. Look at that already. It needs an extra bit off of it, doesn't it? Let's have a look. What did I do wrong? Let's have a look. So 5 3/4 is right there. Oh, I did 5 7/8. That's why. That's a great start, isn't it? Okay. So that is going to go straight on to the front of my card. Okay, so before I do anything else, I'm just going to check that it's okay. And I've got my glue, and I don't mind about covering up this side because it's just a map picture, which is not florally at all. Usually with Stampin' Up paper, because it's double-sided, it's a real challenge which side to use. Because usually both sides are really lovely. Okay, so I'm going to open that out so I can press it down really lovely. And my card is going to go round that way. So which way round do I want it? That way? Yeah, I think that's nice. Because bearing in mind that the easel part is going to be standing up. So I'm just going to make sure that that's really stuck all over, because I'm going to be cutting into this. So you could add the paper afterwards and just make a frame and then add a square to the middle. But I like the fact that if you do it first and then cut it, it's on all of the the front. So that's why I've done it like that. I'm just going to turn it over as well and just really make sure it's stuck all over, and I'm just using the side of my bone folder to do that. Okay, so there is my card. Okay, now here is the bit that gets a little bit more tricky and we need to concentrate. So I bring my paper trimmer in and I've got my card, okay, and I'm going to open it up and I'm going to concentrate on the back of the DSP piece. So I need a pencil because it's going to involve some scoring, some pencil marks. So what I want to do is measure at 1 inch on all 4 of this side so that I end up with a square. So I'm going to get it to 1 inch. Actually, it might be easier if I do it that way around. So I'm using this side just because I've got more area to hold on to my card. So that's 1 inch. Get the blades out the way. And I'm just going to use my pencil to do a light mark there. Okay, so you can see it's there. I'm going to turn it sideways and I'm just doing it on 1/2 so I can see already where the pencil line is, so I can join that, and then I turn it round again. Now this way I'm going to concentrate because I just want to do 1 inch. I'm going to put it at the bottom of my paper trimmer because then I can still do the 1 inch. I don't have to fiddle with any other sizing. So I've now got it there. And then how do I do the last one? So my card is 5 7/8. So I need to do it 4 7/8, and that will give me the inch there. Okay, so I've got a square. Hopefully, let's bring that down so you can see. You can see there's a square inside my card. Now I need to do that again, but this time I repeat it with 1 1/8. Okay, so let's start on the easy one. So instead of doing it to 1 inch, I do it to 1 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So if I show you now, I've got 2 pencil marks there and there. Okay. Do it at 1 inch 1/8 again. And this is the bit where I think it's a good idea to grab a cupper and then join me. And then 1 1/8 down the bottom, because that just makes life a little easier. You can rub these pencil lines out if you don't press on them too hard. Okay, and it was 4 7/8. So it will be 4 7/8. It will be back 1, 4 7/8, so 4 6/8, so 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Let's have a look. There. Okay. So let me see if I can show you. So you should now have like a frame inside. So there's a square within a square, and the width in between this is 1 1/8. Okay. Are you with me? Oh, I feel like that was stressful and we really didn't do anything. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is do a couple of score lines. So again, with the front of your card here and your square, your pencil square on the back, we are going to use the scoring blade to make a little score between here, the outer line, and here. So that needs to be at 2 3/8. So I'm actually going to do it with my other scoring tool so that you can see it better, because it just leaves a better line. So 2 3/8, and you want to do it on that side and this side, just to the outer edge. So I'll show you. Okay. I thought using light paper would help, but I'm not sure it is. So can you see I've gone from that outer line to the outside of the card, and I've done it down the bottom as well. So you can still see my square within the square. Nothing has gone into that square there, nothing. It's just gone from that line there out. Okay, so that line was at 2 3/8. The next one is 2 5/8. So 2 5/8, and do it exactly the same, just next to it, and then down the bottom the same, 2 5/8, and then one more of 3 1/8. Three and 1/8, 3 1/8. Okay, so you should now have 3 score lines, 2 that are fairly close together, and then this third one here. Okay, so now what you're going to do is, if I turn this over and you can see, hopefully you can see, yeah. So you can see there's the score lines, 1, 2 and 3. Let me put it down, then you might be able to see better. So you need to cut out this piece here of the frame. So leave this longest piece intact, but the rest of it needs to be cut out. How do you do that? Oh my goodness. So we have got a cutting blade on the side of our trimmer, okay, here. And what we need to do is line it up. So if we turn it round again, remember it was 1 inch. That was where we had it. So that will give us that line there. So what you need to do is line up on the side of your paper trimmer. You could do this with a sharp knife and a metal ruler if you prefer to do that. But if you've got a cutting tool like this, there's a little line on the side, and it will tell you that is where your blade is. So I am going to put it there. I'm going to go up to my line where I think the line is, and I'm going to come down to where I think the line is. So there and there. If I lift it up now, you can see, okay, there I've cut through that side. Now I'm going to go around the whole outside first. So this time I'm going to do 1 inch here, but remember this time when you come to here, you only go to this score line, okay, and from this score line down. So, which is a little bit tricky to see from up here. So let's see. Yep, so that's there, and it needs to come down just a fraction more, and then I lift it up and I go to there and to there. So that's about right there. Just do a little bit here. Okay. So now there's a gap there and a gap there, okay? So you can see already that my square is lifted off. I'm going to do the same this side, but it's down the bottom at 1 inch. So again, I'm going to start there, just go to the score line. You don't need to go the whole way because you're trying to leave it still attached there. And then this one here. Let's have a look. Yep. And can you see? So that now is come out of there. So now I just need to join it across here. So it was 5 7/8, so it's 4 7/8. So I need to bring it back up the top. Can you see why you need to watch this first? I really hope that you give this a go because it is so worth it. Right, let's have a look. So that bit there, but this bit hasn't joined up. So I'm just going to use my blade just to join it before I do any more. Okay, rather than trying to match it. Oh, nearly, because you don't want to be pulling it and ripping it, because that will leave it untidy. So all of the corners are out. So now I've got to do the inside measurement. Okay, so that needs to be 1 1/8 the line, remember? So we're going to do it the same, and we're going to cut off the inside piece. Now this should be easier because you should be able to feel when you come to it, and look, as if by magic, there's your frame piece. So that's one side done. Can you see? So now I'm going to do this side, but again, remember, you only want to do to the score. You don't want to do to the whole edge. So 1 1/8. And I'm gonna have a look. Yep, that's about right. Yep, nearly. So that is there. So I need to cut off across there. So again, just going to do that with my blade. You could do it with your scissors. I'll try not to pull the card. Okay, and then I'll turn it around that way because that bit has already come out. Hang on, let me just make sure that's gone right down to the end. And then I just need to go across here. Let's see if it comes out now. Oh, nearly. I'm finding scissors a little bit tricky at the moment, which is why I'm using this blade. Just the arthritis in my hands is not great. So we've got that side, okay? So can you see there's like a frame coming already? So now if we do this side here, because that's going to go straight across. So that was 4 3/4, wasn't it? So we can do that one straight up till there's a gap. Do it down till we feel it join, and then that one should come out. Oh, just that little catch there where I didn't meet it in the middle. There you go. Ta-da! Okay, now just this last one. Now, which way round shall I do that? That way. So that needs to be 4 3/4, doesn't it? Okay, and I've got to be really careful and not do it straight across. So, there, just across there, and there, up like that. I think that might be it. Let's have a look. Okay, so if we bring this bit across here, Hopefully you can see that my hand's not in the way too much. So I want that bit to come off. Let's turn it around the other way so you might be able to see it. There you go. And this bit here. You can feel where the card is, so you don't end up cutting it too wide. Ta-da! I told you it was a little bit tricky, but it's worth it. Right, you ready? Look. So what you've got now is 3 little score lines either side, but your panel is floating. So in order for that to work, your card, let's look at this one to make sure we get it right. This one goes back like that, okay, and then the dip comes next. So it's like that. Hang on, let me do it and then I can share it with you. So that goes like that, that goes like that. And that is it. So you end up with the valley in the middle. So if I tip that back, let's do the first fold first. So I'm concentrating on the first score line and just making sure that that is pressed. Can you see where my card is staying together? Just make sure it's happy with that. Okay, so like that. And then the next bit comes up like that and goes down. Actually, I didn't cut it off enough. So what I needed to do was cut it to the first line. So it's just attached in one point on both sides, not across all of the score lines. I was wondering why it wouldn't fold. Okay, let's see if that's right now. I'll bring in my paper trimmer because I can cut on it then. So I've had to take an extra little piece off because I left too much on. That's also why you should watch me first, because then you can learn from my mistakes. Don't want to come off. Okay, we can sort that out in a minute. This one, let's have a look at this one. This one come off now. Okay, I will recap with you in a minute. Let's just get this piece off so that it looks nice. That's it. Okay, now it will work. I was thinking, oh my goodness, I've just shown them how to make a card that doesn't work. I can sort that bit out. So the first bend goes back, then it comes up like that, and then the front bend comes up. I'll show you on the side view so that the card fits like that. So it's like that on the side. Can you see? So it goes up. It's like an M, but the front part of the M is smaller. That is your swinging easel card. Okay? So we need to put a layer of card on there. So that is going to be, was it 5 3/4? I think it was. Let's try it. Let's have a look. 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Perfect. Okay, so we'll put some glue on that one. Oh, now this is a hard thing because that is a pretty paper on that side, but it will be worth it. Okay, and then I'll stick this on, and I'll explain that fold again because I feel like I rushed you through it. Okay, let's get that on. Okay, so the bit that I did wrong was, where's my pencil? So you've got a score line there, a score line there, and a score line there, 3 score lines. You only want this piece here to be joined. And what I did at first was I left this bit joined as well. So that's why I had to cut that extra bit off. So the very narrow score, the 2 that are joined together that are narrow, you need that piece of card off, but this is the one that you need on. Does that make sense? Okay, hopefully that was enough of a recap. So this is my swing. So now I need to decorate this piece. And what I've done is I'm going to put it down flat. I'm going to put that piece on there. So to make the designer series paper thicker, I've glued a piece onto a piece of card and then die cut them together so that I've got a nice thick label that stands out a bit, and that's going to go on there. And I'm just going to use some dimensionals to put on the back. It's not going to have very much weight, so probably 3 will be enough. Let's see if we can get through this quickly for you. So that's just going to go on there. I'm not too worried that there's a hole in there because I'm going to cover it with a flower anyway. Alternatively, you could tie a ribbon in there. So that's going to go there, and we'll decorate that in a minute. Now my stand, that goes inside so that it's swinging. My stand I really want sort of about there. So I've got this one, and then I'm going to put this on the top of it. Okay, what I should have also done on here is stamp. So I bet I don't get a crisp image now. I should have stamped that first. Let's see. Okay, so I've got happy birthday. I think happy birthday will just go on that one. So let's try that. This would be telling, won't it? Oh yeah, because it's not completely flat. So I'm going to try my best, and if it doesn't work, I'll cover it with another stamp. Always stamp first before you stick things on. Okay, now there's a lot of ink on there. Let's see how this goes. I think I'm going to put it more over this side because I can put some flowers on one side. Oh, did I get away with it? Oh, not quite. Let's see if I can re-stamp. No, I'll have to draw it in with pen or put a little label over the top. See, another lesson learned watching me. Okay, this one I'm going to stamp first though. So this one is going to be the bigger sentiment. Let's see if we can do that together. Feel all fingers and thumbs now. Yay! And again, I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. I'm actually going to stick this on first. Let's get that ink out of the way. So it was about there, wasn't it? So let's put some dimensionals all over it. Again, it doesn't need too many, probably 3. And there's some on here. For this side. So that was about there. And this was on the top. My throat is gone. very croaky. Let me go and get a drink. Hang on. That's going to go on there. Oh my goodness, that's better. Okay, so I've got that on there. That's going on there. I can fix that sentiment in a minute. So the roses that I used, or the flowers that I've used, are the ones from the Finlet set, and I've just layered them up together. So I've used them in the same colour card, and then I've put a little bit of this pen. It's a pale papaya colour, just because there's little bits of slightly pinky orange in the flower, and I'm going to put that somewhere like there. Use a dimensional to stick it on, I think, because then it will be really properly stuck. Bear in mind if you're posting, how thick your flowers are going to be through the post. It's sad that we have to think of that, isn't it? I'm going to put one of those next to it. You can always make a little gift box for it and send it like that. Might be better. And then I've got some leaves that come with that set as well. And I'm going to put one of those on a dimensional just so that it stands out. Put that sort of tucked behind there. Oh, it's nice actually on a dimensional. This one I'm just going to put hanging over like that. Okay, so already you can see how beautiful that looks. And then I got a teeny tiny one. Should I put that there? Put a teeny tiny one there. Just like that. And I've got some teeny tiny leaves as well. So that's going to go there. I'm so sorry, my voice has gone really croaky, like I'm going to lose my voice. You'll have to put subtitles on, crafters. Another little one. Let's put this one as well. And this is the bit where if you craft with other people, suddenly the room goes really quiet because everybody's concentrating. That's pretty. If only the sentiment was done properly. Okay, and then the inside, let's put that back like that so you can see. The inside, I'm going to do flowers again. Maybe there. Put some Tombow glue there. And then some different sized leaves. Oh, is that leaf too big? Let's put it there. And one that side that's smaller. Oh, I love these colours. I think it's really coming together. So hopefully you're still with me and you've enjoyed this tutorial. There are lots and lots of other tutorials to help you, to inspire you and give you some ideas. Go and check them out. You will love them. If you've liked the video, please subscribe. I try and do a video once a week, life permitting. And yeah, it's been lovely to spend some time with you. I think I'm going to leave it there. I might add some little gems. And I need to get rid of my pencil marks. But there is our, hang on, stuck it inside, our Swing Easel Card. Ta-da! Our floral version or our birthday animal version. Which one is your favourite? Which do you like the best? I actually really like the floral one now. Let me put it down so you can see. Look, there's the floral version and there's the animal version. Ta-da! Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Sorry about the coughing fit and the mistake, but you know us crafters, we sort it out in the end. And I'll see you very soon. Happy crafting!